Have you ever heard of a disease so bizarre, so unexplainable, that it caused people to dance themselves to death? This isn't a fairy tale or a metaphor. In 1518, in the city of Strasbourg, a mysterious phenomenon gripped the townsfolk, and it became known as the dancing plague. What could have driven ordinary people to dance uncontrollably, sometimes until their very last breath? Let's dive into this chilling and perplexing historical event. The story begins in July 1518, when a woman named Frau Troffea stepped into the street and started dancing. There was no music, no celebration, just an uncontrollable urge to move. She danced for hours, then days, refusing to stop. Soon, others joined her, as if compelled by some unseen force. Within a week, dozens of people were caught in this strange, unstoppable frenzy. The authorities in Strasbourg were baffled. At first, they thought the solution was to let the dancers exhaust themselves. They hired musicians and cleared spaces for the afflicted to continue their movements. But instead of resolving the issue, this approach only seemed to make things worse. The number of dancers swelled to over 400, and some collapsed from sheer exhaustion, while others succumbed to heart attacks and strokes. What was happening? To understand the dancing plague, we need to look at the context of the time. Strasbourg in 1518 was no stranger to hardship. The town was recovering from famine, disease, and social unrest. Many historians believe the immense stress and fear experienced by the population created a perfect storm for a mass psychogenic illness, a phenomenon where psychological distress manifests as physical symptoms. But could stress alone explain such bizarre behavior? Other theories suggest that the dancers may have consumed ergot-contaminated rye, a fungus that produces a hallucinogenic compound similar to LSD. Ergot poisoning, also known as St. Anthony's fire, has been linked to other historical outbreaks of mass hysteria. Yet this theory doesn't fully explain why the dancing lasted for weeks, or why it spread so rapidly through the community. The dancing plague also had a religious dimension. At the time, many believed it was a curse or divine punishment. Saint Vitus, the patron saint of dancers, was often invoked, and some thought the afflicted were under his spell. Pilgrimages to shrines and religious rituals were common responses, but they didn't stop the outbreak. By September 1518, the dancing plague finally subsided, just as mysteriously as it had begun. The town's records don't provide a clear answer to what ended the epidemic. Was it divine intervention, the dancers reaching physical limits, or simply the fading of whatever psychological or environmental factors had triggered the event? Centuries later, the dancing plague of 1518 remains one of history's most enigmatic events. Was it mass hysteria, a reaction to ergot poisoning, or something entirely unknown? Perhaps the true answer lies in a combination of factors that we may never fully understand. What do you think could have caused such a strange and tragic outbreak? Could a similar phenomenon happen today, or was this a product of its time and place? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us on Epic Time Journeys for more incredible tales from history. Until next time, keep questioning the past, because the answers are often stranger than fiction.